Now I'm realizing all of my nominations were incorrect.
It's gonna get worse.
You got circular wrong.
The next one is the second option is dogs' bellies for petting, which has no discernible shape.
I mean,
dogs' bellies for petting.
Yeah, it's round. Well, nice little
long and narrow.
Why does it know what a circle is?
This episode of The Bracket is sponsored by Omega Accounting Solutions. If your business has suffered significant financial losses or has had to shut down in part or full during the pandemic, you may be eligible for ERC Employee Retention Credit. A powerful payroll tax credit. ERC was passed as part of the CARES Act to help small businesses recover from the pandemic. If you employed between 5 to 500 employees and paid payroll during COVID, you may be eligible for a refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Omega Accounting Solutions is a government tax incentive expert that offers services in business intelligence, fractional accounting, and analytics. Omega is a small business champion, helping small business owners navigate the complexities of the accounting process, particularly for the immense opportunities around the ERC. They empower small and mid-sized businesses, SMB owners, to help make informed business decisions through powerful accounting, data analytics, and insightful reporting. A 10-minute call to Omega's ERC specialist could help you and your company recover up to $26,000 per employee. Call Omega Accounting Solutions at 800-704-2000 or go to omegataxcredits.com to learn more. Welcome to The Bracket, episode 50. Today we are doing the long-awaited Cheah Game episode. This is going to be All Moments by STEVEN CHEAH from this podcast or vodcast, depending if you're listening or watching, and also some. We'll get into some of the murkier waters of that later, because as far as like which entries got considered. But before we talk about that, just so you guys know, we have Large on. Large has not been a guest to this podcast yet. He is going to be essentially our like viewer insertion point.
It's the baseline. I don't like you saying insertion point.
You guys didn't like insertion. You didn't like completion.
You're our insertion point today.
Yeah. Is there any other words that you think we should?
I mean, insertion point, there was almost any other word could have been used there. Neutral third party.
Neutral, I get. Like it's and so in movies,
I'm the power insertion point.
In movies, and TV,
you
call like the character that's supposed to be you that helps you get exposition. That's like the audience insertion character. That's like you. That's used like when they say like, oh, here's the new guy, and you need to know that I'm this person's brother. Like that's the audience insertion character. So that's where that comes from. And then I realize it sounds like I'm trying to fuck Large.
Yeah.
Big T is here as well. Big T, you've been present for some good Cheah moments, but definitely not all of them. So I feel like you'll be a good baseline for this as well. Change it just for you guys. Change it from to baseline.
Baseline. Better, yeah.
But before we do that, let's hear from our first sponsor of the day, Wondery. All right, let's talk about Wondery. How do you think you pronounce this? Why? I want to make sure I'm not fucking this up. You think that's right?
What was your question?
Do you think you pronounce this Wondery? Wondery?
Yeah, I think it's like the number one tree.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Wondery. Fuck, is it Wondery? I don't know. Let's do Wondery. All right, let's talk about Wondery. Remember the days before streaming services when you could come home from high school and it was only a few hours until the TV show that everyone was watching was about to come on. You know, your friends were coming over to that watch party and smell of popcorn filled the room. Well, in 1999, that show was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. In the new podcast from Wondery, The Rewatcher, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they are taking it back to 1999. Get out of your knee-high boots and paste that poster of Angel on the wall. And that's our good boy, David Boreanaz, who we did interview very recently. It's time to enter the Buffyverse. Join morbid co-host Ash and Elena as they go and they slay their way through Buffy's drama, action, and romance episode by episode. Enter the Buffyverse with Elena and Ash. Listen to The Rewatcher, Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or listen early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus on Apple Podcasts and the Wondery app. Thanks to Wondery, we got our first matchup of the day. I feel like it's good to just address this almost directly to Large. The 5 seed, STEVEN CHEAH's go-to order at the diner. What do you think it is?
Steven is a turkey club.
No.
I do like to.
No, it's Large. Think diner food.
Diner food, like actual diner food.
Okay. cheeseburger deluxe.
No.
Close.
Come on, you are very close.
right
I
there.
forget.
getting
I
warmer.
forget
Appreciate
this.
His actual diner order, go-to diner order, is flounder stuffed with crab meat.
Oh.
That's great. It's like the only place that has that.
Yeah.
I love my favorite. It's not really a hungover, but since we're talking about diner orders, my favorite thing to get at a diner, and I'll get this every time they have it, is stuffed flounder with crab meat.
What?
That is
You get a stuffed
You get
flounder at the
seafood?
diner?
How do we feel about diner flounder with?
I tend to stay away from diner fish. So traditional thing is more like egg creams, Rubens, Monte Cristos, that type of stuff. Never a flounder.
We ate crow though. We had egg on our face. Does that mean the same
Yes.
thing?
Yes.
We did both because Che called his diner.
No, I called my diner.
You called your diner?
It's my diner.
And you asked for flounder with.
I said, "Do you have flounder with crab meat?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, it's on our specials menu."
Yeah, this was kind of a W.
Not
for
a-
Jay.
It was a Che W.
Yeah.
It was a great Che moment because we were all in disbelief. I was just curious. Do you guys have on your menu flounder stuffed with crab meat?
Staffile flounder, yeah, with crab meat.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Huge apology to Che.
Huge win.
Huge, yeah, giant win.
I wasn't hating. I was.
Common W for Che.
Che's been
So
stacking
just
dubs.
stacking W's on this.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm sure the same as the rest of y'all. It's insane, but he did kind of win. So
Have you ever ordered fish from a diner?
no,
I don't think any of us have actually. I don't
Maybe like fish and chips.
like calamari doesn't count. Like shit, like anything.
God, I was saying fish and chips.
I mean, I'm thinking like a
Squid.
fried fish. No fried fish.
No fried.
Traditional
No.
fish dish.
No, heavens no.
I'm exclusively breakfast when I go to a diner or BLT.
I do like a BLT from a diner. Anyway, that's going up against the number 12 seed. This is another food-based one, ironically. It's the time that Stephen Cheaah, I forget where you were. I think you said you were waiting for a car wash or something, and you were really hungry but had nothing to eat. And you had peppermints and mustard packets in the car, and you decided to make peppermint sandwiches filled with mustard
Correct.
to eat, right?
I was like 6, but yeah.
You worded it like it was an Aesop fable. Like
It was the
a
DMV.
lesson that was going to come at the end.
I was
This one's tough. I do have a deep connection with mustard.
what?
As one does.
Please expand.
It's not deep. It can't be.
Yeah.
The significance was you were just so hungry you ate.
Yeah, we were in like a
You didn't have to mix them though.
Yeah, you could have eaten them separately.
correct. We were in a EMV.
EMV, that was it. That's what I thought.
DMV, very long line, and like just kind of stuck there. And AC in the car broke, and little kids get hungry a lot, and I was hungry. That was all we had, so I made do. It was tasty.
There's
What I
no,
remember.
I don't believe that at all, that it was tasty. Mustard and peppermint? I don't know if you're the...
How old is that? How old are you with the mustard?
Like 6,
Okay.
kindergarten age.
I do think it's also important to. I don't remember what topic that podcast was, but as KB said, Che did preface it like it was this crazy story.
Yeah.
Like he prefaced it like this was about to like blow your socks off with like this thing he did at the DMV.
It was like a long story. It was like, that was like a 3-minute story.
Yeah, it was a long story.
It was, and for what? Because you didn't have to mix them. The mustard didn't fill you up anymore. You could have just had the 2 mints. What?
What could we have possibly been debating that episode?
I don't even...
It was
I don't
something.
remember.
Was it who took you?
My
Your
aunt.
aunt.
I think was it about
Oh,
your
it was
aunt?
because you had an aunt named something weird. Your aunt's name was like Grandma or something.
No.
What's your aunt's name?
Grandma.
I have an Aunt Millie.
Okay,
Did
that
she
was it.
come
We
up?
thought you said like...
Yeah, that came up. You worded it strange.
Yeah.
My nanny and Aunt Millie used to watch me on Mondays, and we'd watch Reba
We thought you
together.
called your Aunt Millie Nanny.
Yeah. That's
I thought you said my
Okay,
nanny.
so why? Okay, then second question: why were we talking about my nanny?
I don't know how we get into half
we were
of
like,
these
who's?
things.
We were talking about Reba.
You were what? You were eat like Malamars or something?
Yeah. My bitch of a cleaning lady would always take my.
Or was it the condiment episode where mustard was?
Might have been the mustard episode.
Oh, that was probably just
sauces.
the condiment
Best
episode.
sauces episode.
But yeah, that's dumb. That could be chalked up to dumb kid.
Yeah.
Get the taste of flounder out of his mouth, though.
Right.
And I have to ask, how are we voting? Just on like what's more absurd, or what's like just the best, just overall like funny Che moment?
I think which one gave us the most enjoyment, if that
Okay.
makes sense. Or in your guys' cases, with ones
What's
you haven't heard
weirder?
before, which one is, I guess, which one of the stories? I guess you could do the same sort of thing, just which one did you
Yeah.
get more enjoyment out of?
Voting
which
on
one
the
brings-
chayness of it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
That works too.
Yeah.
What's the most Che in?
Yes, exactly. So we'll start with you, Big T. Which one of them do you like more? His go-to order being flounder stuffed with crab meat, or I still can't believe these sometimes. The peppermint mustard sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, the mince, he was a child. So any child could do that. I think you need something in between a peppermint sandwich, but the going to a diner and ordering fish stuffed with crab, that's the classic Che. So
Well, how about you, Large?
The more I think about it, if he goes to this diner a lot and he sees that they're moving a lot of flounder, then it becomes a little bit more of a safe order. Maybe a little bit more run of. If a lot of old people go there, perhaps there's a lot of flounder flying off.
Do the elderly like flounder?
They do, yeah. Traditionally, fluke and flounder, any flat fish, elderly.
Is it because
enjoy.
their taste buds are a little bit weaker and they need is a flounder a strong fishy fish?
Oh, it's actually
really? It's
very
pretty
light.
mild.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, okay.
it's a light fish, easy to fillet, so they don't have to go digging for bones. So I'm thinking that might be a little bit more benign to a 6-year-old who enjoys mustard packets and mints, because neither of those are traditionally what a 6-year-old goes to. Like, I'm starving, I could use a mint. Like, a kid wouldn't even ask for a fucking mint, but a young Che would. Like, I think a young Che might even request a mustard packet as a hungry 6-year-old. So I think that's going to be mine, the mustard packet mints.
One for the mustard packets.
Is Steven allowed to vote
I was
on
just gonna ask
these? I feel like he shouldn't be.
I think you should.
Yeah. I feel like he should be.
Should we vote on whether he can vote?
Yeah, we could.
I vote he can't vote.
You say he can't, Nick?
Racist. No, absolutely he can. As long as he doesn't have felonies.
I say yes as well.
Yeah.
You guys think
and
so?
an ID.
I was with Tommy on that one, but we were overruled. Yeah.
So Che, we'll give you the vote. Which one of those stories?
So ironically, I didn't like mustard as a child. In fact, when I got to
That's very ironic.
tall enough, well,
This is what Morissette was singing about, dude.
it will become ironic, because once I got tall enough to like windowsill height, we had this in our dining room, like a very long window with a windowsill that was painted white. And I don't know why I did this, but I was teething, I guess, or I would just like put things in my mouth and I would bite the windowsill, and also like Matchbox cars, and I would like eat paint off of them. So to prevent this, my mom put mustard on the windowsills and the cars, to spicy brown mustard.
So to prevent the taste of paint, they put something edible.
Wait.
yes, that I didn't like. And
That should win this round.
I'm voting for that.
Hitting the windowsill.
And that's why we should let
And
him.
this is why Che should be allowed to vote. Yeah, I was wrong.
So as soon as you were the height of the windowsill, you started gnawing on it.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's winning this round easily.
Can you imagine
Your mom having to put mustard.
Your mom had to put a food on a non-food so you wouldn't eat the. Okay.
bright yellow staining food onto a white
Yeah, it probably stained.
No, I think it was spicy brown, but still, yeah.
Why
I think
not
that
like
is actually kind of weird.
vinegar or something?
Would that eat away at the wood? Is that acidic enough
I
to?
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cure a meat.
Chewing on your house?
Yeah.
Wait.
I'd vote for that. Yeah.
Just the image of like 2-year-old little Steven Che going to like take a bite out of his window.
I like to think that his
"Oh,
feet
fuck,
are
there's
kind of like
mustard
on the
it."
ground.
Yeah.
Like
It's mustard
Oh, no,
ruined
not
the
mustard.
wood.
Based on my height, I was probably like 4-ish.
You're just like, I need to take a nibble of this windowsill.
Yeah.
would you like bite up and down it?
There were like teeth marks on it. Yeah, for me.
Ew, this VCR tastes gross. Mustard's.
It's ruined.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I'm voting for this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
That's I think automatically our winner of this round.
How are you sitting on these things, man?
Jay shouldn't be allowed to vote. He should have to submit an additional story related to the two we're voting
Go
on.
have one for everything.
This is Cheception.
Yeah. Seriously.
Wow.
All right, we'll just go straight to the next matchup. It's the number 4 seed. Not knowing how the news works That was a very funny moment. We were discussing. I want to just say something about politics.
Worst people. We were talking about worst.
Yeah, we were talking about how the worst people are politics people, the ones who like their lives revolve around it. And the Steve's point was like, is there like for people who are obsessed with politics, like an Adam Schefter or a Woj? And we're just like, you mean the news?
You didn't know about the news.
Referring to the news.
How do people who are politic fans get their news? Is there like an Adam Schefter or a Woj of politics? Like
basically,
like CNN?
Bill
they
Smith,
choose somebody's
D.
opinions to follow blindly, basically.
Yeah.
Steve, did you just ask if there was the news?
Yeah, the news.
Did somebody cover this? This politics? And that is going up against the 13 seed, almost naming your son Luigi.
I mean, Luigi's number one.
Wait. Back up. Back up.
Number one
of all
things. Luigi isn't. He's not number one.
Do it again.
He's never been number one.
Oh,
I forgot about that. Was a close. It was a very close call, right?
Yeah, that was my first choice.
You fought for Luigi?
I did. Yeah.
I don't think I was on the show for that. Can I have a little
It's
background?
very early. I forgot what the background of it was.
That's it.
You just.
But what was your reasoning? Why did you like the name?
I like the name Luigi. It could be Louis, Weege, like.
that. Yeah.
Thinking that Weege is a nickname for Luigi.
J.
Need an explanation of everyone for the rest of the
It's
thing.
like nobody knows Luigi except the Mario character, who's awesome. So, I mean, there's no precedent to be like, oh, well, that sucks because of this celebrity. Or
Is your wife Italian?
Nope.
Okay.
You're Asian. You could have chose Yoshi.
That's true. That would have been pretty kind of cool.
Actually, my wife is part Italian, but no.
What did you go with?
I don't want to say.
You don't want to say that makes sense.
much.
Tommy, which one were you picking
I
between?
mean, as much as I do
went
love
with
how
Mario.
Steven just said Weege, I think if we're talking about what encapsulates Stephen Cheah and his essence, it's truly being oblivious to the fact that there is the news, that he's just so locked into all 22 film that he doesn't know people report on politics. So I'll say that describes his essence better.
I'm earnestly jealous of that fact, though. The fact that he can be so locked in and like tunnel visioned into something that well. Like I will never have 100% mastery of anything in my life like he has on NFL. Like it's earnestly something I do.
Yeah.
I am jealous of. How about you, Nick?
That was shocking, for sure. But now I'm thinking of a kid named Weege. So my nickname is Nick, and N-I-C-K.
Yep.
I dropped the H out of K. Would Weege be UIG?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Like can't be WEEG. That's
No.
Weeg.
WEEJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, just that's such a
But like it would be
such
like
a
Ouija
different
board.
spelling than
Ouija's board is spelled like
O-U-I.
O-U-I-J.
Spelled like that.
Right?
Yes.
O-U-I-J.
Yeah.
O-U-I-J-A. Yes, I believe.
I gotta tell you, Weege is growing on me.
Weege is a sick name.
That's my boy Weege.
Luigi
That was my
Che?
exact argument. Like, wouldn't it be cool to be like, yo, that's my boy.
What a melting pot of a name.
Yeah.
What would you go with the middle?
I don't know. That Mills.
Vladimir?
Mario?
Yeah. Wolfgang. I don't know.
I just love the idea of him surfing just the Ouija board.
The Weege, yes.
There it is.
Weege. I mean, that's awesome. But
Has there ever been a Luigi that's just not Italian at all? Probably
no,
not.
definitely
Can't
not.
name one real Luigi.
I met one Luigi in kindergarten. He literally came over from Italy. He was born in Italy and moved to America in kindergarten. That's the only Luigi.
And more people should be like that. I named my kid that because I like the name. I have no ties to the culture.
Could work out.
But I'm going, you didn't know that the news existed. That's like a large percentage of channels.
Yeah.
And there's papers and...
Earnestly.
But there's no like one source. Like the AP maybe?
Like because it's so much bigger than football that there is so many sources.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. You still can't get your head.
He still doesn't get it.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I would pay to watch. You have to watch C-SPAN because like if none of us can handle it, like you'd want to die.
C-SPAN is the all 22 for politics.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What are you going with, KB?
Yeah, news.
The news. Jay, anything to add?
I like the Weege thing. Is Gino Oriema's real name Luigi? Might be.
Would it be
You wouldn't know. What's
Gennaro?
Gino?
It's probably Eugenio, right?
Gennaro. I
Gino
think.
definitely isn't short for Luigi traditionally. I don't know if it is in this case.
Is it short for Giovanni?
He's so Italian that it's
It is. Wow.
Yeah.
It's Luigi.
Whoa.
It's Luigi. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Holy shit.
So Gio? That's
Another shade
Oh,
W.
wait a second. But hear this. He was born in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It comes back to like the story Tommy's
Yeah,
telling.
but I've never heard. I don't think Gino is typically short for Luigi.
I thought it was short for Giovanni.
I thought it was Gennaro or some shit like.
I always thought it was Eugenio, like Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah. That would make more sense too.
I think I heard it when he was on PMT. I think they said that, but this was the name years ago in my mind.
So which one are you going with?
Luigi.
How about you, Large?
If you have another kid, would you kind of dust off that idea?
It was shot down pretty hard, so I don't know if that's.
But that would suck if, like, I'm assuming that they would not match the rest of your children's name.
No, not
at all.
Large, your firstborn's named Debrickashaw, right?
Yeah. No, my son Finnegan, we almost named him Santino.
That was almost
Yeah.
my name.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to call him Sonny.
I came out looking way too white. My dad is a little bit more Italian looking,
right?
So they had to shift.
Tino Torrini would flow pretty
Tino Torrini would be sick.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just don't look
McCarthy.
Italian
Good
enough.
name, yeah.
And my kid-
McCarthy doesn't.
Santino McCarthy. No, my kid was a big waterhead, white.
Oh yeah.
He looked like me, so it was Finnegan from Santino. If it was a girl, would you want Louise for Wheezy? I like Wheezy.
Ooh, I like Wheezy as a
Wheezy,
girl.
yeah.
Wheeze.
No, I knew someone with that name that I didn't particularly.
The news one's bizarre. It's number one with the bullet.
Oh, can we hear about her? Person.
Yeah, why don't you like the name?
No, he said he doesn't like someone with that name.
Or no, actually, it wasn't that name, but I always thought that was her name.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Now I think that should win.
Exactly.
It was like a neighbor of mine. When I was like, they lived around the corner. She's dead now. So.
You just thought
Thank
that
God.
was her name phonetically close to that, or you just assumed?
Phonetically close to that.
I think you can say what her name was.
Yeah.
She's still alive. Her sister's dead.
Story changes by the second.
We had a little dust up back when I was in third grade.
What was the dust up? Was she an older woman?
It's got to be water under the bridge by now.
Yeah, they had.
Imagining like a
They
grandma.
had some like issues, and maybe I like said something under my breath when I was walking by, and she like chased me.
To your old neighbor?
What did you say under
She
your
was
breath?
Probably, I don't know, maybe in like her 20s or 30s, and like chased me down the street. Like
She's young.
What?
And how old were you?
I was in third grade, so maybe like 9.
What did you say?
Probably something like not nice, but like whispered it's my friend, and maybe they heard it, and just.
It sounds like you know.
Yeah,
Was it?
You know and don't.
I think I just like poked fun at her weight or something like that, but like said something like that too. And I guess she heard it and like just went off the deep end.
There it is.
He's like,
Oh my God.
But she
were just
sounds
poking
close to
fun.
Louise, like a Denise.
Lois?
No, but their last name was like pretty close to it, so I just kind of always assumed.
Their last so you couldn't name your daughter kind
Yeah.
of that.
Well, that in my mind, that's the
close.
association.
Yeah. And is there a significance to her sister dying?
No, I just remembered I thought it was her, but it wasn't. It was her sister.
Oh.
yeah.
You are.
Is it related to her weight?
I have no idea.
Okay.
You got to assume.
I do not know.
Ballpark?
Not like crazy.
Okay. I do like the idea of you whispering under your friend's breath, just like, get a little of that fat bitch over there. And just getting chased down the block.
Was it similar? Was it close to that?
No, I don't think so. I definitely knew what curse words were, and I knew what they were, but I don't think I would have said that in that type of manner.
Gotcha. All right. In Big T, what would you have picked?
News. I mean, he's still just, there's not one Schefter. Like, that's classic Che.
I mean, it is, again. Next one we have is the number 9 seed. This was very early on in bracket history, so I don't think even you were around for this yet. You being just like bricked up all the time in school?
I would get boners at least once a class, and it would almost.
Jay just bricked up 24/7.
At least.
At least?
Dude, I was rock hard for like 25% of high school.
You said you got
I was
7
here.
boners a school day, right?
Isn't it at least
It was
one per
probably
period?
like one a period
You
outside.
got a boner a period.
It's a hatch.
Probably at least, yeah.
At least.
I was constantly hard in high school.
High school.
High school, you got a
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was going to be.
Like there were girls like within arm's length of me, and I was very much a virgin. It was awesome.
No, wait, what?
You enjoyed that?
Yeah, I mean, because you'd be thinking about it, it'd be great.
Oh my! People were sitting in class with Steve Che, hard as a fucking brick,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I had
you
a
were
guess.
enjoying it.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I was probably like the hardest man of like 2003.
I think 50
That
Cent
sounds.
has that title.
I think that'd be problematic now. You saying like, yeah, I'm bricked up all the time and I love it.
Well,
sitting
no.
next to Sophie.
You were just staring at girls next to you getting bricked up the entire class.
Yeah.
Once a class.
Well, that wins.
I mean, I'm not
don't know
like
what the other one
staring
is,
like this, but like you're typically in like I feel like most of my classes were like a horseshoe.
Once a class is gnarly.
That's so many boners.
8 periods a day, right?
Has to be
7
intentional.
to 8.
You're 9.
Well, I mean, did you get hard at
7
lunch?
to 9.
That's gotta be.
Like no, like social things where you're like doing stuff. But if you're just like zoned out listening to like Catcher in the Rye summaries, like forget it. Like
Yeah.
Now, did you focus on getting the boner, or would it just come?
You wouldn't try to fight it,
You
would
don't
you?
get 8 boners a day
would
unintentionally.
not fight it, except when I knew class was winding down, and then
Yeah.
we had some issues.
Did you have a go-to thing to
Tuck,
boner?
wait, books over it, backpack over it.
So people knew then. You're sitting at your desk with a book right here, dude.
No.
Yeah,
like,
Steven's
no,
hard
like,
again.
No, like I'm saying, if I had to get up and get out of class, the bell rang.
Yeah.
I still had a boner. I'd wait, try and be the last person out, etc.
You could like dispel a boner that fast? Like just while people are filing out of the classroom?
No, I mean the first move is to try and tuck if you have the ability to in the
length.
if your pants allow.
This is going up against the number 8 seed, wanting to eat your wife.
Wife would be number 1.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
This is a safe space.
But number 2 would be.
But then there's also the possibility that I have to kill her, and that would suck.
Oh yeah, there is always that
good
possibility
point.
that you would have to kill her.
Would have to kill her.
It's like a Wesley.
Che, why is there that possibility?
If we can't get off, I mean, we're gonna starve to death,
Would you
Would
put
just
her out?
die together?
You would kill your wife before starving to death?
or she would have to kill me.
Well, yeah. Whoa. There's a possibility you'd have to kill your wife.
One of us is dying, right?
Oh yeah.
That was a tough one.
It's not like a want, but like, yeah, if we're the last 2 people on stranded on an island, like, yeah, I'd want her to eat me too if I did.
Context is we did celebrities or people you would least want to be stranded on an island with. That was the bracket. And it came down to everyone basically, for the argument's sake, like Stephen Cheaah would be like, could I beat them in a fight and then eat them? Like that's the person I would vote off, basically. And so he just, I don't remember how the conversation got to this, but it came to us asking him like, well, what happens with your wife if you're stuck there with your wife? And he's like, well, one of us is going to die and it's going to be her. And I'm going to eat her because one of us needs to
He
live.
basically said that within 14 days, he'd probably have to resort to killing his wife and eating her.
It wasn't even that. So at first it was like within a week. And then I think one of you said like,
well, the
live
human
14
can
days.
only
You even if she did die, you wouldn't have to eat her.
Yeah.
I leave it all out on the field, man.
What does that mean?
Like, I'm not going to go down and die and not try to live.
Would you want to live after you've eaten your wife?
Probably not, but that's like a tomorrow problem.
Now, Large, you're the only other married person.
Yeah, so that's the perspective too I provide.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of us looking for excuses to eat or to kill their wives.
Yes.
No, definitely not. Like, and to be fair, and you guys can back me up, I did this with every celebrity. Like,
Yes, this is true.
could I,
Okay.
Like, it's going to come to, like, we're not getting off this island. Like, it's going to come to, week 2, and all right, we're going to hunt each other.
Right.
Who do you think makes it out alive?
Week 2? You could live that long without eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to figure find some
Got to be some
berries and shit.
vegetation.
Try to catch a
I think you're looking to
fish.
kill your wife.
How do you think it works with you and Annie? You think you would die so that because she could eat longer?
Would you want her to eat you?
Your corpse.
For survival, I would offer up. Yeah, I would. My thought. Yeah, I would say
Go body
it would
part
be
by body part?
okay.
Yeah.
And I would definitely eat her. It would be more of a last resort. I wouldn't put a 2-weeker on it. Like I'm just thinking about Castaway.
Yeah.
Like how long it would be because I could use the weight loss and stuff.
True.
Yeah, I guess if push came to shove, I'd cave her head with a rock and eat my wife. I think the hard-on thing I got it. You ever beat off in school?
In school,
Never in the
that's a
in the
yes.
bathroom.
In the bathroom, yeah.
Oh.
Like if I was expecting to get 8
like, yes,
erections a day,
one time.
I don't believe that.
Or you just had to?
One time?
No one does it once.
No, I want to hear.
You
about,
crossed that
This is
barrier.
the answer I want.
Yeah.
What was the one time?
Because I got detention. I'd stay after.
Was it 4 erections? No, right? You didn't get what?
No,
okay.
no.
Did you jerk off every day in high school?
Of like, not at school.
Not at school.
Oh yeah.
More than once.
Oh, no days off.
Probably. Yeah.
More than once.
Never. No days off.
With detention, what is that? Why did you have to? Because you were
Just bit into his routine of getting home and jerking off.
Oh, was it in the room?
Oh, good
Was it in the classroom or the bathroom?
No, the bathroom.
Okay.
The bathroom.
You were so attached. You were an addict.
Yeah. You could say that.
It's 3:15. The bot. It's like an internal body clock. It just had to come.
This is true. I legitimately play like an after-school sport for a few seasons just because I would rather just go home and tug it.
I found a clip.
So wait.
The last time he said tug it, you and Coley both had a freak out over because you're like, it doesn't even sound like you like it.
No, tug it sounds like a chore.
Yeah.
Bop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a blue collar worker.
Yeah, exactly.
At the docks, had to go tug it.
Yeah,
I did a little bit of. Oh, sorry.
No, it sounds flaccid like you took a rope.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of quick math. 8 boners a day, over 180 school days times 4 years of high school. That is 5,760 erections. If we're to be conservative, let's say you jerked off 1% of those times. That's 57 times in high school, at school.
No, I swear I only did it once at high school.
These numbers aren't
There is something that isn't adding up there.
5,700 boners you jerked off once.
Why'd you get detention?
I don't specifically remember, but I was pissed about it.
So you're like, I'm gonna go
Because it stopped you from jerking. Oh, it didn't stop you, but
the opposite.
I got it in science class. I don't know why. Yeah, I was pissed about it, and yeah, it fucked up my schedule.
There's sperm in your microplate. Just looking at the microscope.
So what would be the typical Tuesday? Would you beat off before school?
No, because I was like kind of a late riser, so it'd be like scramble out the door.
I'll say.
And then one before dinner, obviously you get it between 3 and 5.
Yeah, I get
And then
home
one more
like
before bed, so you sleep.
3:15, 3:30, around 1. Parents get home around like 5, so like 4:30, 4:45, around 2.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
You could have been like a great football player or a great basketball player, but you'll never know because you needed to pound off.
Yeah, it was. I did play basketball for a bit, but yeah, it definitely interrupted the routine.
All right, so we'll start with you this time.
You guys didn't do that?
no.
I think we all jerked off a decent amount in high school, but I don't think it interfered with my desire to play sports.
Yeah, no, it was a priority.
Yeah. We can see that.
What are we? What
are the two options again?
He would hypothetically eat his wife.
Yes, he said he would eat his wife versus be having a boner all the time.
I mean, it's ridiculous the way he put it, but like being stranded on an island with someone, that's like a fairly reasonable response. The other one.
Right.
I don't think it's reasonable.
This happened. There was like a Uruguayan plane crash and they were stranded, and I think they did eat each other, some of them, and then the ones who survived are just like very fucked up.
Oh, I can imagine. I'm not saying it's
like they would rather be dead. I think
it's preferable. I'm just that, but 8 boners a day for 4 years.
But not once did Che think I could work together with my wife. Maybe we'll make a gill net. Maybe we will go hunting,
fishing,
make spears, arrowheads. He immediately went to eating.
I'm not arguing that it's not a Che thing.
Sure.
But the high school boners is more classic Che.
I think the
mixed in with the
refraining
fact
from
that-
doing a sport
Yeah.
is
to
prioritize masturbate. That
And you pride yourself in with your athletic prowess.
So I was a decent athlete in high school.
But a better jacker.
Yep.
So you were a decent athlete in high school. When did you play?
I played basketball my freshman year. We had a very, very good team, and I just wasn't getting enough time. So I was like, I'll just do intramural basketball instead.
Did you have a conversation with the coach about why you were leaving?
No.
What sports did you
pursuing other interests.
not do because of the jacking off?
Track, you said?
Track and then tennis.
Would have been a 3-sport athlete.
Yeah.
Track I didn't really have much of an interest in.
Large.
Yeah, the one's hypothetical, one's a reality, so I'll take the erection one because that had happened.
Erections, Steve?
Yeah, probably the boners.
Probably the boners, KB. Struggle.
8 a day.
8 a day, and how long did they last? Were they raging? Were they pulsing?
Talking down 8 a day. Talking 8 of them down a day. That's
Right, like
substantial.
I'm starting to wonder if that's more time hard than not at school.
I have one more question. Did you get them on the weekend at the same time as well? Or was it only because you were being...
It depends on like level of engagement, right? Because I just zoned out in class a lot.
And you were around girls.
Yes. Weekends, typically not.
That's the problematic part for me.
Yeah.
Why?
Which one you going?
Just in 2022, I don't know that you can say that.
Well, if this would have happened in 2022, if he was like sitting there like just fucking getting
wasn't,
rock
like,
hard and
fucking
just being like looking at a girl and being like, I'm hard for you right now. I'm imagining
would not do
fucking you.
that.
Like, yeah, that
Well, he stopped just one step shy.
well, that helps from being problematic, I think.
You weren't a sweatpant guy at school, were you?
Can't be.
No, not really. Sweatpants would be like the easy tuck, but no, it's more like I would be basketball shorts.
So people saw you hard.
No, because that's the easiest thing to tuck in.
But were you talking in the middle of class? Like right now, if you're sitting,
You're sitting down in class, so
Yeah,
I'd be
okay.
sitting at a desk, so there's no real visibility of like my groin.
Wait, you say you're growing?
groin.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said is growing.
I mean, that's a great way to put it, I think, getting an erection. But sorry, KB, what are you picking? The being bricked up or
Are
the...
you saying you would only eat your wife if she had passed from a different reason, or it would be 1v1 as soon as you were stranded together? Like
No.
somebody's getting
Like
eaten.
we would absolutely try to make a good faith effort to get off the island, but at the end of the day, like I'm not a very handy guy, so I know my limits.
Don't forget the handsaw.
So you think how would she die in this hypothetical? Or you would
we would talk about it, and I mean, I would probably offer myself up.
Would you mean it?
So
why would someone have to be killed?
We gotta survive, right? Like that.
Gotta eat.
It would just be.
I think that
eating more.
I don't think
No.
I don't think I'd want to survive after killing.
Yeah, I'm
a
not
person
saying I would.
So if your wife was like, no, I'm kill me and eat me, you would have.
You just instantly take a rock to her head.
I mean, what are we doing?
Survival is desperation. I'll go the boners.
Both the boners, it's
Hated
going
it,
to move
yeah.
on, but Nick?
That's just horny. This is damn near criminal.
I'm trying. I don't know the extent of it. It sounds like you're stranded with anybody. It's gonna be someone's getting eaten.
Yeah, we did that whole episode. I was trying to.
But you're the only one that thought that. I was thinking of somebody I'd want to be partnered up. You know, who was
Yeah,
handy.
to help escape. Yeah.
You went right to eating, and then your wife. You brought in your wife to this.
No, I think
did
we,
it.
I think
I
we
didn't.
definitely
Someone else.
We definitely brought it into play. Yeah.
My fault. It's eating your wife.
Eating the wife, Tommy.
I'm going boners just because it is like the image of 14-year-old Stephen Cheah every day rearing up to get a boner and then rearing it down at the end of class, not playing sports. I almost don't want to push it through because I don't want to keep talking about his boners, but it's his boners.
Okay, so now we have the 1 seed versus the 16 seed play-in. We'll do the play-in first. The play-in is STEVEN CHEAH moments that happen outside of the bracket. So it's going to be moments that are Yak, regular Barstool, whatever it is. Some of these I'm not even fully aware of just because I don't listen to every episode of the Yak. So Nick and KB, you'd probably be able to shed more light on them.
Yeah.
This is mostly based off of Nick's list. The data having no ties in the NFL this year, and then there being a tie week 1.
Yeah.
Tough.
That was a tough scene.
So Cheah prides himself on data. He crunches these numbers to have the most accurate projections of the NFL season. One thing he hung his hat on this year was that there will be no ties this year, week 1.
And week 1.
I think this
And
was
week 2.
last year, but yeah.
Last year? Okay.
Maybe it was this
Who
year.
else tied?
Colts,
Well,
Texans.
Texans.
Colts, Texans. That was it.
That was week 1, and then week 2.
This week 1 there was very close to being another one with the Steelers and
Yeah, but there was not.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Next up, we have, and I don't know this one, trapping Big Cat into making fun of his disabled brother.
Yes, there's a clip online about that.
I did not trap anyone.
It was entrapment. I'm sure we could pull the clip if we want.
Big Cat kept making fun of his brother's order at Dave & Buster's. It was like green chili soup, and he was like, "Who would ever get green chili soup?"
It was about your brother's affinity.
You were
towards
warning him.
Dave
You were like,
Buster's.
"Yeah, I don't think you want to do this."
Like, your brother, does he have a girlfriend? You're like, no. And he's like, he doesn't have a girlfriend? What a loser. And then you're like, well, and then you drop it on him. You let him back himself into this corner.
That was good.
It's an all-time Yak clip.
This is a.
I think I have it saved on my phone. This was
Yeah, I have to see this.
I really want
I
to.
quite simply have to see
I
this.
mean, it's not something that I wanted to say, but he got so far into it, I couldn't not say it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I respect the hell out of that move. We'll pull up the clip too. The next one I also don't know. Steve Klitt.
Steve Klitt is a Cheah persona. When the Yak was just me and Kyle, we turned it into Fuck FM, and he was our DJ. And Steve Klitt just loved eating pussy, and he had a voice.
It's just Steve.
Seems pretty similar to Stephen
Well,
Cheah.
it's Stephen Cheah with a different voice. Steve Klitt. Yeah. He's an early morning radio DJ named Steve Klitt, Klitt. Sounds like a radio station as well.
The way you pronounce Kyle Trask, how do you pronounce it?
There's a video of you when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted Kyle Trask, and it was my least favorite pronunciation of all time.
So I'm trying to think how
Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft Kyle Trask, and that's how it went.
This is like a Giovanni Bernard type deal.
But unintentional.
Oh.
I think if we could pull it up on your Twitter, you had a video when they drafted him.
Gotcha.
This is
Completely unaware, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Asking Sass if he'd rather take a shirt off on the yak or if he'd rather his mom take her shirt off.
Yeah. Sass is self-conscious about his nipples, and then Cheah's like, so Sass, would you rather you take off your shirt on the yak or your mom come in and take off your shirt? And everybody's like, what the fuck, Steve? Obviously Sass would.
I think Owen got legitimately mad from that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good clip, though.
Calling masturbating in the shower a productive shower.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do it once in a while.
Yo, get the venom out early in the morning.
You're shockingly horny.
I thought everyone was this horny.
He's got a high T. He's a very, very high T man. So among those, which one would you guys want to vote in? Also, I didn't hear. There's one that I forgot to, I think, add to the bracket, which I'll add as a bracket moment. You said once that you would rather have $20 than have fluency in a foreign language.
Oh my God!
Oh,
yeah,
that was a great one.
moronic.
That was a great one.
I'm not cultured. I'm never going to be cultured. What am I doing?
Dope.
What's the value? What's the value of $20?
$20.
Well, like that's not even worth it.
No, we didn't even say you had to learn the language. You said $20.
You were going to wake up with
Yeah, you'd wake up fluent in Portuguese.
Mandarin. Go to Chinatown and.
Why'd you go to that and not like?
Because that's just
Spanish?
what we're here. We're in New York.
Right.
Okay.
And Mandarin's hard to learn.
Yeah.
It is very hard to learn.
And Steven's Asian.
Okay.
There are TikTok videos of guys who speak like more obscure languages, and they go into like a store with people from that country and they like speak it to them, and they're so shocked, and they give them like whatever they want for free.
Yeah.
You
They love you.
Just doing that one time, you could get more than $20 worth of shit.
Or even if you want to think in terms of like posting the TikTok, you'll get paid from like the views or something of that video more than $20.
That guy that you told us about last time we were discussing this.
Oh, I did. Lu Shao. He was my favorite. He's a polyglot.
Yeah.
His brother thinks he was murdered, but he spoke like 18 languages. He would go on YouTube and just go surprise people.
I mean, I think it's fascinating. I don't know. We'll add that on too, but we'll start with you. Tell me which one of those would you want as the Cheah candidate?
So is the foreign language one technically isn't it is from the bracket?
It is from the bracket. Yeah, that's the only.
Can I
one
see the brother clip?
I'm asking Greer for it right now because Greer.
Yeah, I'll splice it in too.
Greer sends it to us a lot.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but just based on the description, I have to go with that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in on that one as well, Nick.
You could tell Big Cat was like about to begin just a little ball bust in a Cheah's brother.
Yeah.
And I think the lay person would have stopped it. Just like, well, listen, you let him back himself into a corner.
I felt like I did stop it.
You waited a little too long.
Okay.
Yeah. He got some roasts off.
Nick, you're going with the.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Going with that, KB.
That's funnier, but the more absurd thing is the $20 over knowing
I would kill
entire language.
I'm awful with learning languages, and I've tried and tried and tried.
It's tough. I'll go. Okay, so one vote for that. Steve, which one of those would you pick?
Yeah, I guess looking back at it, the Big Cat brother thing was.
I can't wait to watch this clip.
Was pretty good.
Large.
It's tough. This is Sophie's choice. $20 for a language is such a just the intrinsic worth.
How much would you pay to learn a language instantly?
But like to have it just in my brain the next
Neo,
day.
just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would pay thousands, literally thousands of dollars, even for like an obscure language too. I'd just love to have that knowledge in my head. I love the idea of Steve Klitt.
Yeah, Steve Klitt was awesome.
That was
Say it.
Steve Klitt.
Yeah, I'm going with it. I like that.
Welcome us into Fuck FM.
Oh, jeez.
It was like 95.7.
I think his role was just to say Steve.
He just said his name.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be like 95.
95.7. Fuck FM. I'm Steve Klitt. Yeah.
Hold on, Zod's about to pull up the intro music.
Oh, do we have?
Welcome back to Fuck FM. 97.3 Fuck FM. Fuck all the fucking nothing but the fuck.
So that was on the rare occurrence where it was just me and Kyle on Sirius.
Jesus. Yeah. Those are great.
Those were fun.
That's really.
I think I'm Steve Klitt.
Steve Klitt. You're not Steve Klitt. You wish you were. T.
Some great choices here. The $20 is just so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to pick that.
So that's.
I mean, it's crazy talk.
I am wildly uncultured, and it makes me.
I am also.
Yeah.
But like
What is
that's
the
crazy.
downside to knowing a language?
I don't even think it's
$20 is so small.
That's
No, but like
even
I just
if $20 fell out of your pocket, it wouldn't bother you probably that much.
No.
Like if you lose $20, it does not impact your day in the
I
slightest.
think the value of the 20 is what the bigger issue is. Because if you said like I'd rather like have like $2,000 than have fluency in a foreign language, like okay.
Oh, that you
sure.
crossed.
That's what I'm
if
saying.
You said 100, it would still be wrong, but I could consider it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't even get a dinner for
100. It might be worse because there's no hyperbole. That's like that's still way too low.
Correct. Yeah. But that's 500% more than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think you're just discounting how little I want to go into another area where I am not the native tongue.
You wouldn't have to go there.
Yeah.
You just
Knowing
speak
it
German now.
That would be like a nest egg. You could. That's profitable.
Breaking down all 22 film in Mandarin, you don't think there's a market for that?
And in my defense, I did take Mandarin actually in college and tried to do it. Didn't work.
It's so hard.
I took Spanish in high school, but just like it's not in my set of things that I would like to do. I would rather have like $20 than learn a new language.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Do you know how much people pay for like Rosetta Stone? Like it's like $400.
I don't want to go anywhere.
So that's the winner, and it's going to go up against the 1 seed, which is one of my favorite stories ever told on the bracket, which is the Ballad of Jack Joyce.
There was a kid in my high school, Jack, and he drove like an actual monster truck to school.
That's cool. That's different. Actual monster truck's very cool.
Wait.
If you drove Gravedigger to school,
Confirmed monster truck.
It was a monster truck. Like
I don't believe that.
Oh my God.
Are you here for this? I forget.
I think I was here for a retelling of it.
Gotcha. So Jack Joyce, I feel like I shouldn't even explain it.
I think Stephen Cheaah.
You have to explain the Ballad of Jack Joyce.
Sure. I don't know how we really got on it, but
Something about high school, I think we were talking.
We were drafting the coolest guys.
Coolest guy. Okay, right.
That's
So
right.
there was a guy in high school who, my high school had like a parking lot, but you had to win a lottery, and there's very few spots. There was just like 2-hour parking all around. So people would be parked kind of like way down the street. And there was one guy, and he seemed to always kind of park near me. We would get in at similar times. And his name was Jack Joyce, nondescript guy, wore like a white undershirt every day, but he drove a full-size monster truck.
That you could stop there. There was a kid who drove a monster truck to school.
Well, the thing, he was like a complete nondescript guy, like really nice.
Or white undershirts.
White undershirts.
Nothing like super memorable about him in my brain, outside of the fact that he drove this ridiculous car. And there was a lot of, I was questioned about this. It was purple. Right? The wheels were as big as me, maybe even a little bit bigger.
Oh.
Getting into the car, I feel like I think he like climbed the wheel and then got into the, but I never understood how it was a legal vehicle. But yeah, he showed up to that thing to school every day driving that thing.
He pretty much instantly
fit in a lane.
Everywhere around the high school that I would see him going is like there's not 2 lanes, like it's one, like there's 2 lanes, but they go
New Jersey is like the most ridiculous place for that to be.
Yeah,
maybe like North Dakota, like
right. I agree. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Literally the most dense population in the country now.
Yeah, it is.
New Jersey. Yeah.
Like traffic. Yeah.
So that's going up against the $20 language thing. We'll start with you, Tommy. Which one do you want?
I mean, this is tough because, Jack Joyce, as iconic as he is, it's not really a Stephen Cheaah.
It was a Stephen Cheaah story that we did enjoy a lot.
Right, but it's not about Stephen, Whereas, like, choosing to get $20 over a foreign language is just Stephen Cheaah to his core. Just that pure ignorance of just being like, I want an Andrew Jackson instead of being fluent in a language. I mean, Jack Joyce is amazing, but if we're talking... pure Cheaah, I think that the foreign language is more pure Cheaah.
Foreign language, Nick?
Yeah, that is People pay so much to learn that in years and years of learning. If you could be gifted
7
that
years you need for fluency.
for free, yeah, it's that.
KB.
I think this one's more just making insulting Cheah for being stupid. I want to kind of hype up. No, it's that. It's the language. $20 is just it's too low.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, it's a wildly ignorant and borderline offensive take for me. So I'm not gonna vote for that one. But yeah, like
Jack Joyce.
I'd rather just have like some General So's and a Coke Zero and go watch a movie.
With the $20, yeah.
Then speak German.
Yeah.
Cool.
Large?
Yeah, I'm going to take the language thing.
The language.
And I tell you, it's refreshing that nobody. I think it's one of the only shows where nobody calls bullshit on any of this stuff. Like you, like how did he park? Like right away, me living in Jersey, I'm like, that didn't happen. But I do believe that it happened. I did believe that it happened. I do, but because it's you, it's the only reason I fucking believe Jack Joyce existed.
Big
time.
Yeah, a monster truck.
I was skeptical. Like when you
we texted my friend about
we were very skeptical at first.
Oh, you were? Okay, good.
We were like, are you sure it wasn't just a big truck?
Like I've seen lifted trucks with pretty big tires,
That's
but
what we
like
thought.
But he said that if this tire is
like
6
grave
feet
digger.
tall,
yeah,
that's a monster.
enormous.
like could have been in the
Wouldn't have been
monster
allowed
truck rally.
on the road.
It didn't
I
have
don't,
like
I don't think they're street legal.
No,
Got it.
so like a
it wouldn't fit.
So my brother's actually really into monster trucks. So like a typical monster truck. So I've been to actually a lot of monster truck rallies.
What a loser! What's wrong?
So a typical monster truck is almost like a pickup truck where it has like the front where it's like a 2-seater and then a back bed and like kind of a thing like that. It was not like that. It was basically, I don't even know what kind of model car it would be, but it was like do you remember Thumper from the game Twisted Metal? It
Yeah,
was like
wow,
kind
good
of a
call.
hearse almost. It wasn't necessarily that, but it was like kind of that long.
Was it
and
not a
just-
truck?
Had a big cat.
It wasn't a truck.
That kind of.
It was just.
Was never a truck.
I mean, it was a monster truck for sure. I mean, this thing was huge, but I'm saying it wasn't
like a station
classical
wagon?
definition. No.
What differentiated it from a truck, like an F-350?
Being big.
It
wasn't a
didn't
truck?
have that
Oh.
like back bay.
What is a monster truck?
It's like
You know
a
what I'm
hearse.
Yeah.
It didn't have like that back like flat bed like a
bed?
pickup truck
And a
would be.
cabin.
Willie had a monster truck. I'm sorry, right? You've seen it.
Yeah.
Willie Cologne. That's right. He had one in Jersey. These drive was like wrapped in
Yankees stuff,
skin that had Louis Vuitton and stuff. So I guess it does exist. Again, I'm not questioning you, but
Kind of like this thing I'm looking at right here.
Kind of, yes, and it was purple. That one, the red one. That.
So this is what we're looking at. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, that's a monster truck.
Cut this.
Yeah.
Cut this.
And for the people listening, is that a clip art image of just like a cartoon, and then it looked like just like that?
See, that's not what I had in my head. That's just that's really big tires.
Yes, I'm telling you,
That's not a monster truck.
I mean, I was pretty much.
I
the
think at
size.
that age I would call it a monster truck. I'd be like, that's
They're ridiculously sized tires.
They were 6 feet tall.
Yes, they're like, dude, they were my height.
So the winner is the $20 or foreign language.
Obviously, yeah.
Before we get into the second half, let's hear from our second sponsor, or third sponsor of the day, Ridge. All right, let's talk about Ridge Wallet. The Ridge Wallet is an ultra slim minimalist wallet. It holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash. There's over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It's made with RFID blocking technology that protects you from digital pickpocketers. And they also have a new key case that Nick was just raving to me about that helps you organize your keys. It secures anything from 2 to 6 keys, and it organizes them in a compact silhouette for fold-out and easy access. There's 6 colors and styles, including, once again, carbon fiber and burnt titanium. Check out their site, ridge.com, and use the code LCB for 10% off your order. Thanks, Ridge Wallet. On the other half, we're going to start out with our 11 seed, the time that Steven Tyler slapped you in the face.
Slap me in the chest with a glove.
Okay. Something I knew it was something along those lines. Wait, can you explain the story for Large and Big T?
Sure. So I was lucky enough to attend Super Bowl 48 at MetLife Stadium, and they had no tailgating. So very high security. So instead of the whole parking lot was basically made into security, like way tighter than airport security. So you would wait online at the outskirts of the parking lot, go through this very long maze where you get checked several times. That was basically the length of the parking lot to go through. And my buddy and I got off the train to go in, and we were walking around. We walked as far as possible to see if there would be a shorter line. And we got to the end of it, line wasn't shorter, but we found out that that's where the celebrity drop-off was. So I saw Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, obviously a very recognizable guy, coming out of his car. So he was maybe like, probably like where Noah is from us, like, 20-ish feet away, 20, 25 feet. And I zoomed in with my phone on him, and he'd just gotten out of the car. He was wearing like some type of mink.
Here's the picture, by the way,
like
that he took in this moment.
So I take that of him, and I'm like, oh, sick, I got a picture of Steven Tyler. And he makes a beeline right for me, takes off one of his leather gloves, and slaps me in the chest, and he goes, don't take a fucking picture of me. And as he did that, I snapped another photo, still zoomed in. So that is the actual photo of him with a glove.
Oh, man.
And that is...
I wasn't on that episode.
And this is going up against the time that... Oh, so you didn't know that?
No.
That's crazy. It's the time that you used Liz as an excuse to get out of jury duty.
Oh, that's
this is
tough to beat.
This is a good one.
This one, a good explanation for the fellows as well.
So I had jury duty maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and never gotten jury duty before in my life. So I get there, and I've heard stories about, oh, you can get out of it, just say this and this and whatever. I didn't really know it was real. So you get there and you get I don't know, like a booklet, maybe like 10, 15 pages where you have to sign and consent to everything and agree to this like super long questionnaire. And they tell you what the case is, and the defense and prosecutor, whoever, all those people are there. And the attorneys are basically looking to weed people out that may have some type of bias. So the case was, it was a hit and run case. So it's like, oh, do you know anyone that has ever, gotten hit by a car? And I mean, I was friendly with Liz, and, she did the show right before the act. She was on Big If True, and so I'd see her every day, and, she'd be hobbling out on her crutches. And so I wrote like, yeah, I know someone that was hit by a car, and I don't want to participate. And then so I got called up, and they asked me like, do you know someone? I was like, yeah, like my coworker was my friend. Like,
it was a case with like a woman that got hit by a car. And I said that I couldn't do it because I had a friend, a coworker that was hit by a car. So I
wow. Are you talking about Liam?
You use Liz to get out of your...
You use Liz?
Yeah, I did.
And it's important to note, Liz wasn't just hit; she was pulverized.
She went flying in the air, like you've got the tape. No, she went 25 feet in the air.
Yeah,
and like was doing cartwheels in midair.
We have tape.
Right. We have absolutely broken by that car.
Yeah.
Yes, destroyed by that motor vehicle, and that's how you described it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I was pardoned.
Like, she got fucking destroyed by this car.
Would you have actually had bias?
Legally, yes.
Gotcha. In case the state of New York or New Jersey listens to this. So the Steven Tyler slap or using Liz as an excuse to get out of jury duty. We'll start with you, Big T.
I don't think that's you would have been lying to say no.
Agreed.
I don't think that's crazy.
Saying that he's so emotionally shooken up by Liz getting hit by a car.
He got out of jury duty, which is a cool move.
That is cool. But it doesn't. Again, not all Cheah moments need to be a bad thing.
No, it's
the story was just so funny.
He used Liz.
Liz getting just pulverized by that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's crazy. If they ask if you know somebody who's been hit by a car and you know someone who was hit by a car.
So you're gonna go Steven Tyler?
I guess neither of these are calling to me. I guess Steven Tyler. Yeah,
Steven Tyler.
I would have done the same thing in the jury duty thing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us would have.
That is tough. I've never been to jury duty. I'm 50.
Wow.
Never been. Yeah, I think they know I'm racist.
Yeah.
The Steven Tyler thing seems like more of a Steven Tyler story. The Liz thing, like I've had an aunt who got killed by a hit and run coming off a bus. I won't talk too much about it. I would have used Liz before her just because Liz was around. I never really knew my aunt, so I admire it. Yeah, I think I like Liz. I like Liz.
One for Liz. Which one would you go with?
It's my aunt.
I'd go Liz.
Go Liz as well.
Was this like a questionnaire that just asked yes or no? Do you know someone? Or how did you explain it?
Yeah, it was like a yes or no, and then it was like if yes, like describe. And
you just wrote down.
And they go through like, who is this?
So you just wrote down, yes, my coworker got hit by a car.
Like circle yes, like yes, my coworker.
And then they were like, you're excused.
Then they called me up and were like, hey, is this like legit? Like, someone that got it? And I was like, yeah.
Did you like try to seem sad when they asked you?
Yeah, I did.
So, like, how did you answer?
Be like, yeah, my coworker, like, unfortunately.
You have Liz's phone number?
Yes, I do. I did. I
call her up.
Liz when she was here.
Call her up.
I haven't talked to her in a long time.
Where'd you go? What are you going to go with, KB?
I think the significance of the Steven Tyler one was we were talking about Steven Tyler on the bracket, and he just happened to
have a story about it.
But it was about who was the smelliest. And he was like, I actually have smelled him before. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It was that moment that made it ridiculous.
And the photographic proof is funny.
Yes.
This is a great photo.
Yeah. Go Steven Tyler?
Yes.
All right, Nick?
I'm going to go Steven Tyler.
3 for Steven Tyler. You can tie one.
I'm going Liz. That's.
I think if you like went out of your way to appeal, to bring that to them to get out of it, but it sounds like they put it on a tee for you.
Yeah.
But I just think that the tagline there, Stephen Cheah uses Liz getting crunched by a car to get out of jury duty is just very funny.
Get churned into hamburger meat by that.
Cheah was so emotionally devastated.
Right. Yeah. So we got a tie. Goochman, which one are you going with?
I mean, Liz got fucking pulverized.
She got blasted.
Gotta go with that one. I agree with Large. It feels more like a Steven Tyler story on the other side.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go. That's gonna be the advance, and then now we have the 3 seed, which is maybe out of all these my actual. It's my second favorite on this entire list, although it is the 3 seed. You using the flashlight app with ads. How many employees does it take to get portrait lock off an iPhone? Incredible work.
You also just taught me how to find the flashlight. I never knew how to find the flashlight. I have an app.
No way.
That is a flashlight.
Wait, you have a separate app for your for a flashlight?
Yeah, and it plays ads on volume. It's very annoying.
Using the flashlight app with ads.
Oh fuck! Which was one of the fun.
Oh my god!
I forgot about that.
Holy shit!
So we were trying to tell or show Steve how while during the bracket how to use like screen record on your phone. And he we figured out with him and everything, and then he's like, "Oh, and you just taught me how to use the flashlight app." And like we're like, "Well, what have you been doing like since then or before that?" And he's like, "Oh, I have a third-party flashlight app with ads that I've been using the entirety of the time you've ever had a smartphone."
And it just makes your phone screen
yellow.
white.
It makes your phone screen white. It doesn't turn.
You could have just Googled white.
Yeah. So that's one of my all-time favorites, and that's going up against the number 14 seed. Just that time he kept doing Justin Bieber with that voice, but none of us could understand.
Justin Bieber.
Doing it like that, and we couldn't figure it out.
We got to the bottom of
the
it.
clip. Yeah.
He's not the best in the world.
No, but he's good.
Bieber's not putting any. He's not getting any fame because of his moonwalking. You're saying he does an okay moonwalk because he's Bieber.
Nick, did you catch that too?
What was that, Steven?
Yeah, Steven, what was that? What was that little Justin Bieber thing you just did?
That's another like one of these names where whenever I hear it, that's just instinct. Justin Bieber.
But it was very funny at the time. So Tommy, you go first.
Oh, it's the flashlight. This is, I mean, as it's the Justin Bieber one funny, but using a third-party flashlight app with ads that isn't even really a flashlight. It's just a
white screen,
kind of bright
ads.
screen. It's easily that.
Nick,
yes, 100% that.
100% KB.
I don't even think people downloaded that with the first iPhone. Yeah, it's that.
That
has so I learned what the command center was.
Yes.
So has that always been the iPhone?
That's not
No.
A while.
Always been there, but for a while now.
I'd bet 6 years.
Something around there, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
The flashlight app has always been there, the built-in one. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm asking. That has always been there.
That has always been
Not since the first. No,
I don't think so.
It came iPhone 4-ish, maybe.
Okay, but it's been there for a very longer than the
time.
command center.
Zippo, the Zippo lighter app would have worked better.
Yeah.
So which one are you gonna go with, Steve?
Yeah, I guess the flashlight one. That was.
Oh, largest figure.
Large, did you just figure out about the flashlight?
Oh no.
No, I just went on the flashlight app to see what it was. Like it just asked to send me push notifications. The whole deal. It's a real deal app. I mean,
but that's not the one Steven was using.
Jay went to the store to download it. Is that it?
I believe. Yeah, I believe so. I'm on it right now, and it's got a compass
Pro or something like that.
and it's got some ads down here.
Pro.
So there's a little more to it. So I'm definitely going with. There's an SOS. Which I'm
that's
afraid to
streakers
touch.
on a tennis court.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely go with this. I don't know the Justin Bieber one too well, but I'm fascinated by this one.
You going with that one? Wait, which one are you going with, Steve? You're going flashlight.
Flashlight,
Big T.
Oh, flashlight and a landslide.
So you use Flashlight Pro. It has 2 stars.
in one
like
review.
It's like a black logo with maybe like a hint of orange or.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, and it's just one review.
Is it that low?
Yeah, 2 stars. Yeah.
Is there a written review for it, or is it just like?
I just downloaded the app and will give a better, more updated review after I've used it for a while. But I can't understand why the developer hasn't updated this for 4 years.
Gonna go watch some Bucks film and then I'll get back to you.
Is this you?
No, I never write reviews for the stuff.
Okay, so well, except for games, that counts technically as a review. No, if you watch a game.
Oh,
it's a breakdown.
So. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to devalue it. Okay, so Flashlight App's going to move on. Next up, we have the 10 seed. Steve consistently being pretty racist against Asian people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's been a recurring theme.
The Mark Wahlberg one recently was one of my favorites.
Yes. I forgot about that.
Or like we talked about like an Asian woman getting into a car accident. And you were just like, yeah, it was probably her fault.
Well, no, he got into a really bad car accident this morning, and I was the hero of it.
Okay, so that's actually the first time you brought it up was when you talked about how you're not a good driver, and you said, yeah, it's probably a genetic thing. Or something along those lines.
Right.
You're like, why would you say that?
Are you a bad driver, and do you blame your genes?
Yes and yes.
And that's going up against the number 7 seed. Fuck, this might actually be my favorite one. We did a bracket of the best smells, and you talked about how every now and then when there's a really smelly homeless person in the subway, he's like, yeah, sometimes, I just want to go over, get a whiff.
I don't like go out of my way, but like, yeah, if I see homeless people, like I'm not straight, like holding my breath, and I'm just like, okay.
That's exactly how I think I just described.
Yeah.
What?
You like to catch whiffs of homeless.
It's like, I think if I watched the clip, if I remember right, he's
here for this.
If I remember the clip right, he said it in the way where it's like, oh, it's a shock to your system. It's like you were like, it's a good way to wake yourself up.
You're using homeless people as smelling salts?
No, not necessarily.
You didn't have to say necessarily.
No,
there.
you didn't.
I'm not avoiding them, and I'm not holding my breath around them. So yes, I'll catch a whiff, and then I'll think about it.
You said you would inhale intentionally.
Yeah, I'll catch a whiff.
Just to see, yeah.
Yeah, I smelled a gnarly one yesterday.
I mean, it's absolutely this.
Smelled a gnarly one.
I wonder if I want to say I can find this clip because I definitely watched it and it was very funny. Wait, so you smelled a gnarly one? What was the scent? Piss and shit?
Was it piss and shit?
No, like they usually don't smell like bathroom. From what I like, the most like if there's a guy who's got like shit all over him, like yeah, like that's not it. But like my interaction with New York right now is in this office, like 3 blocks, Penn Station, just the New Jersey Transit side. So I'm not really in the city, but I do pass several homeless people that live in Penn Station, and I recognize them, and I've seen them for years, and they've changed and stuff.
And they're like, oh, here comes the guy that's gonna come over and fucking smell me.
Here comes the sniff.
Oh, but like, yeah, you pass by, and you're just like, okay, and that's kind of it. You just kind of make a mental note. All right, that's what that person smells like.
You took a mental note.
I'm not going out of my way, but like, yeah, if I pass them, I'm gonna still keep breathing and do like I do with everyone else. So I'm actually treating them the best because I'm not giving them special treatment and making them feel like freaks.
No, you're just going over to them and sniffing them.
Not going over to them. I'm passing them and I am just breathing normal. Nothing.
You don't inhale sharper or anything?
No, but like you notice it.
I think it's a very voluntary action because I pass homeless people all the time and don't have to hold my breath. You just don't sniff.
You just don't notice it. You just don't notice. Like you're probably walking around like I'm not going up to people and going like on their clothes, but like yeah, you walk through the office, you have your nose open, you smell things.
I have part of the clip here. This is from before you. This is only our 11th episode.
I would like to get a quick whiff and just go by just to kind of judge the shock factor.
What? What the fuck?
For the shock factor.
Yeah. So it is kind of smelling salts, no?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it sounds like.
So the matchup is the being racist against Asians versus the smelling homeless people. Start with you, Big T.
I mean, let he among us who is not casually racist against Asians cast the first stone. Clearly, The homeless people.
And to give a little context on the like recently the Asian one, we told Stephen Chea about how Mark Wahlberg beat up a Vietnamese man only strictly for the fact that the person was Vietnamese. And Chea was like, "Oh, big deal." Chea was like, "I don't even care."
This came out and it was 1988 in Boston.
Yeah, I know.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm just 88 in Boston. You see a Vietnamese man, your hands are tied. You gotta pulverize.
I'm gonna blind him.
Saying, like, I'm sure that shit happened all the time.
You were so okay with it.
It was. What's the statute of limitations on this guy?
It doesn't make it any less fucked up.
Yeah, no, it is fucked up. But I'm just saying, like, that wasn't crazy out of the norm. Like, you probably saw people.
I don't know if this is like more of an insult.
There's
against,
a
like,
lot of things out of the norm.
I think it's
I'm not going to
more of an insult
pardon.
to Boston.
Yeah.
Is Holocaust like water under the bridge?
Holocaust, by definition, pretty out of the norm.
Yeah.
But it was a long time ago.
It was a very long time. It's like way longer ago than Mark Wahlberg's offenses.
And you know.
It's 1942 in Germany. What are you supposed to do?
So, sorry, Big T, you're going with smelling homeless people?
Oh, yeah. By a lot.
Smelling homeless people? Large?
I think I'm going to go with the self-hate, the Asian thing.
The Asian thing, Steve?
I love Asian people. Just like.
Just don't.
Gotta be
mind.
better drivers. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Where are you going to go?
It's the
Asian
overt racism toward Asians.
It's 3-1.
I think the hate is a cope. I think you can accept that you are a bad driver.
Oh, I accept that I'm a bad driver.
No, but you as an individual, not as a Asian man. I think you want to blame your.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's smelling homeless people.
Smelling homeless people.
I think I'm going with the Asian hate as an it's Chappelle, it's Clayton Bigsby, it's the black white supremacist. Like it's just such a character but it's so genuine and he says it with such conviction every time. It's that.
It's that. It's going to move on. And lastly, last matchup of the day.
I have to say, and this is my fault because I didn't submit it, but my favorite Stephen Chea moment of all time, I think maybe isn't going to get mentioned. If it's not here, I will add it maybe.
Okay.
Because I know what the 2 seed's going to be.
15 seed's not super strong, so like you can sub it with here if it's bad. It was, in fact, actually, yeah, definitely sub it because it's when you were adamant in defending Jared Leto's performance as the Joker. And
I got a better one than that. So
let's
2 is circles, right?
That was crazy though.
Then this one's hard to beat. I think it is him emailing Tinder customer support when a girl unmatched with him.
You were trying to hook up with a MILF, no?
Yeah, it actually resulted in no hits. It was a very sad experience. Some would say rock bottom of my life, but
was a MILF.
Tell Big T and Large that
probably
story.
the low point of my life. So I had been in a serious relationship from senior year of college, basically till after 5.5 years we were together, and it was right around the time that apps were popping off, and it all seemed very exciting. And I was unable to participate, obviously, but once I became a single guy, I was extremely interested in that. So it was very appealing to me that you could see, search people by age, where they lived, etc. So one night. I downloaded Tinder and I was checking it out, and I was looking for older women, and I reached the.
Wait, you were looking specifically for older women?
Yeah, he had the age sliders.
Oh, okay.
Not like crazy old, but I think at that time I was probably 27, so probably like 32 to 42, something like that. And I had made a match, and it was my first match, so I was very excited. And I was caught off guard, and it was embarrassingly late. It was probably like 1:00 in the morning, and I'd worked the next day. It was a weeknight, and so I matched with this person. I just wrote something very neutral, like "Hey," and then I have no experience with these apps, and I got unmatched, and like she just went away, so blocked or whatever. I still don't know to this day how it works. So I was very upset because I went through and I was selective. I wasn't like, whatever, left or right, everyone. So I was like, what the hell? Like, this is supposed to work. So I emailed customer support and I was like, hey, what the hell happened here? And that's
what was the response? I'm curious.
I never got a response.
Okay. It's too. That's one where I feel like you could let the person figure it out.
Yeah, they probably they're sending that around as a joke and as a Christmas card.
Yeah.
So that's going to go up against Steven not understanding circles. This is a very fun one.
This was shocking.
Now I'm realizing all of my nominations were incorrect.
It's gonna get
You
worse.
got circular wrong.
The next one is the second option is dogs' bellies for petting, which has no discernible shape.
I mean,
dogs' bellies for petting.
yeah, it's round. Well, nice little
Long and narrow.
Why doesn't know what a circle
Yeah.
We did an episode. It was best circular things. Pretty easy to put together. The submissions that Steve gave me were dogs' bellies when you pet them. How we feel about that?
Circular motion, is that?
No,
Or the dog's belly itself.
Oh, the belly itself? Yeah, it's not a circle. Go ahead.
Fishing rods when you catch a fish.
That one I still
Also
maintain,
not
like,
a circle.
Not a circle.
It's
The fish is big
roughly
enough.
an arc.
If the
That's
fish is
definitely
big enough, it's a circle.
You would have
It
to
goes behind you.
Yeah. And after that was a football helmet, which is the most circular of the entire bunch. And then cats' backs when you go to pet them. They'd go into cat's pose.
So it's bizarre. They're not circles.
They're not circles.
Yeah, hula hoops.
Anything that isn't a straight line is a circle, I think, in Steven's mind.
Remember, Owen asked him, he said something along the lines of like, Owen, do you think like a penis is circular? And he goes, the top, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was circular.
Is the letter J a circle?
You asked this last time.
I don't think so.
You said, last time
no,
you said
the answer's
it's
no.
circular. That's the last
I don't think so.
Anything that's curved.
There's a letter that is a circle.
Jay, I'd have to do more research.
That would be such a funny science fair as a kid. Just, is a J a circle? My hypothesis is maybe.
Gotta do more research. Who did I end on last time? Did I end on
You know Tommy.
No, Tommy. So Big T, the not understanding circles or the Tinder story.
I thought Tinder was going to take this fairly easily, and then I heard the things that you think are circular, and it's clearly that.
Large?
Yeah, it's circles. You could be confused with Tinder.
Yeah. Steve?
I'm going to vote for anything against the Tinder story. I do not want to see that move on.
KB?
I think infants can they recognize the circle shape before like their own parents' faces.
Circles.
Circle.
Nick?
This is like, I'm choosing my favorite moments. I was so saddened with the Tinder story. Just devastated. My boy, Che, I hated it. So, circles.
Circles.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love the Tinder story, I wish I had a better draw here. It's going up against a Titan. The circle story, I think we probably reference more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's the circles.
I watched the full 9-minute clip, which is on our Twitter, like 3 times this morning. It is so and tears in my eyes laughing. It's so good. So that's gonna win. And then before we get into our really quick playoff matchup, let's talk about our last sponsor of the day, Everlywell. All right, let's talk about Everlywell. When you know more, you can do more. What if you could use science to discover more about your body? Find out what you need for your healthier tomorrow with Everlywell. Everlywell is digital healthcare that's designed for you, all at an affordable and transparent price. With over 30 at-home lab tests, you'll be able to choose the test that makes the most sense for you, get the answers you need, like in the men's health or the thyroid test that we both took, both me and Jeff did. Here's how it works. Everlywell ships the product straight to you with everything you need in one package. You take your at-home lab test, simply collect your sample with using the included prepaid shipping label, mail it back to the certified lab. Your physician-reviewed results will get sent to your phone or device in just days, and you can share the results with your PCP, primary care provider, or physician rather, to help guide your next steps. It's so simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell to support their health and wellness goals, and you should too. Jeff did the thyroid one. I did the men's health, metabolism one. You learn a whole bunch about yourself that you wouldn't know otherwise without having to pay out your butt at a regular physician over. It's awesome. Really, really easy to do. All you do is a really, really quick sample, and then you just mail it right back. Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off at an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/LCB. That's everlywell.com/LCB for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/LCB. Thanks to Everlywell. Tommy, you go first in our first playoff matchup. Not understanding the news versus the I forgot. I was like, why did I write windowsill here? Steve eating his windowsill.
That. I mean, I don't know if it's just recency bias, but I mean, a little Stephen Cheah biting his windowsills with mustard on it. There's just so much to unpack there, and the way he said it so casually.
Biting your house.
It has to be that.
You know how little rambunctious boys I talk about? I love it's one of my favorite tropes, stealing pies from windowsills.
I thought the same
Dude,
thing.
if Che like ate around the pie, that was the only thing. The little neighbor boy came and took our sill. All that's left is this fucking piping hot pie.
Delicious.
It's the windowsill gnawing. I don't know if it's going to win because he had the luxury of being a boy. But this one is new to me, and it's exotic, and it's sexy. Yeah.
Wait, what's it playing?
Not understanding the news. That was very funny.
Yeah.
Eating the household items is one thing, because I think that is like a...
It's not even a household item. It's the household
thing that kids suffer from sometimes. But the fact that mustard worked as a deterrent that's it.
That would have made it all the more appetizing for me.
It was powerful enough to stop you from eating a windowsill, but you ate it with the peppermint too, which is
If my mom,
I think that there were two different mustards. I think that it was yellow mustard.
Yellow versus spicy.
If my mom put mustard on my windowsill, I'd be like, am I supposed to be eating this windowsill?
I was going to be. I've hardly touched my windowsill.
Steve, which one are you picking?
If I don't finish this, you won't let me have the drapes.
Large.
Yeah, it hurt the resale of the house.
Yeah.
I'll go windowsill too.
Windowsill, Big T.
I would have gone news. I think any child could find themselves gnawing on a windowsill to not know the news.
You gnawed on a windowsill, didn't you?
No.
Again, but it's also the mustard aspect.
Mustard, like
I have no qualms with the windowsill moving on. I would have said news, but.
All right, you go first in the next.
Hold on, pause real. Big T, you're bumping in that cam just a little bit, shaking Nick and Tommy.
Oh yeah,
there.
the camera behind you. Okay, cool. All right. Big T, you go next or go first in our next matchup. It is not wanting to spend $20 to have an entire fluency of a language, versus having a boner 24/7 during school.
I think this is the matchup of the day. It's too many erections. It's simply too many. And the fact that he enjoyed all of them is outrageous.
So it's the boners for you, Large.
He's an adult, right? There's he should be able to put a value on a language. Like kids can get erections. High schoolers can get erections at the normal rate, especially Asians, right?
Probably.
I'm just saying because he hates Asian. I go. Erections are a lot.
It's a lot of boners versus the language.
Yeah, I'll go language.
One for language, Steve?
I'll probably go boners. I had no idea that it was so not normal until we
talked about
that show. Yeah, I thought that everyone was.
KB?
Now that you said that, you didn't know that was a lot?
No.
You thought that was like an average or below?
One a class for
One a class?
16, 17-year-old kid? No. A verge?
I'm almost thinking, if you had said 13 or 14, it would be
more
less weird.
That's what I'm saying. I believe it. One a class.
Right. No, I'm saying 13 or 14 years old.
What did you say?
I think more prime horny area
it's
than
not
16,
that much?
17.
In my mind, it's not. I mean, I wasn't a good student. So if I'm
you had to get boners
into space,
So do you think good students are the softest?
Probably they're so locked
flaccid
in.
cocks. The AP class is as flaccid as cock. Flaccid dicks. Where are you going with KB?
Language.
The language is more. Kids are very horny.
So you're gonna go with
no one else is doing that deal.
You'd be hard pressed to find someone that would agree with that. Yeah,
I think it's in triple digits worldwide. I think there's less than 1,000 people who would agree with Steven on that.
Yes.
Poverty aside, extreme poverty.
Oh, well, we're taking the
aside.
poors out. Take all the poors out.
Okay.
Let's count the regulars.
Yeah.
People that you don't want to smell on a subway.
Am I getting gaslit by Che to like? I think knowing a language is insanely valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to not have to go through the process of learning it. My entire net worth, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
7 years.
That I wouldn't do, but
Why?
All of my net worth just know a language.
I would put an obscene amount of money.
Yeah. To avoid 7 years of work plus all the money you would have to put into learning.
I would pay off debt for a while.
You'd be in the red on it?
Maybe not.
What's your number, Tommy? If I said $100,000 or you know a language tomorrow, would you take $100,000?
Okay, well that's
I'm just
no, $100,000. I think I would pay.
I'd pay $1,000.
I would pay $1,000 to do it. 10,000 now. I don't think I'm paying 10.
You wouldn't
Pay
be
10.
excited to pay.
No, we're not talking about paying. We're saying not getting.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'll give you $10,000 or you can learn a language tomorrow. What do you choose?
Oh wait, so this isn't losing 10,000.
Right, yeah. It's
Yeah.
What are you turning down?
KB is saying the opposite. KB saying you would pay.
That's what I'm saying. That's how ridiculous it is. I would pay.
You would pay
If I
10,000.
was given an option of 100,000 or the language, I may choose the language.
Oh, I'm taking 100,000.
I think I'd take the
that may be
100,000, but
that
I
may
would
be more ridiculous than the 20.
100,000?
Yeah.
I would not.
I would think about it.
Oh no.
Instant Mandarin?
No.
50. If somebody said 50K or a language immediately, I think I'd take the language.
50.
100's a big number.
Yeah, 100's a lot.
Maybe to you, bitch.
I think like
I mean, I would.
over 10,000. I'm probably gonna say the language. Like anywhere in that range, I'm like it's an insane amount of work to never have to do. Not that a language is critical.
I think 5 is the number that if you were posing this hypothetical, that's the number you should use.
I'm also just obsessed with Japanese culture, and I would just I would beeline it straight to Kyoto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you pronounced that right. No, I don't think you did.
What?
So what are you going with?
The language.
Language, Nick?
Language.
Language. Tommy?
This is going to be my last vote because then I have to go for the Yankee game.
For the Yankee game. All right. So that's the winner. And now for our Tommy, you're going to leave now?
I'll leave after this vote because I'm
Okay.
first here, right?
So you can vote first for whoever's going to go into our conference finals here. Language versus the windowsill.
This sounds like a C.S. Lewis book.
I'll vote windowsill into the. I think it's recency bias, but nobody in the world.
I think it's the opposite. We're not, because it happened today, we're not realizing the significance.
Right, that's actually a good point. It's anti-recency bias. Yeah, the windowsill one, the more we think about it, if it was just eating windowsills, you'd think, God, that's weird. But the fact that the deterrent to eating a windowsill was an edible thing. Your mom put an edible thing on an inedible thing so you wouldn't eat it. It has to be that.
Yeah, gotta be that.
Yeah.
Right,
It's my favorite thing.
That's the best.
It is it. That is it.
that KB.
Yep, windowsill.
That as well, large.
I'm sticking with the language. I mean, I know it's a waste of a vote, but the language thing just sticks in my craw.
Big T.
Yeah, I think I would have gone language too.
All right, so
this.
So the windowsill's moving to the finals, and now on the other side, using the Liz jury duty story or the flashlight app. Big T.
Flashlight. It wasn't even this flashlight.
No, it was the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yep.
Yeah, flashlight.
Flashlight. Steve?
The part that sucked about it was the ads weren't like the 320 by 50 like those bottom things. They were like video ads on the phone.
So you were just in the dark.
You'd be looking at something, and then the ad would play with volume on.
Oh, so like in middle of using the actual
Yes.
app, it would start?
Yes, I mean, like.
Oh my
Yeah.
You could have just like opened Twitter on your phone, something that has a white background, and turned your brightness all the way up, and it would have done the same thing.
Google White.
Mode, baby boy.
He didn't know how to put on his brightness up because he didn't know how to use the control center.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this.
That'll
There's a
get
brightness
you.
thing in the settings thing, but yeah.
When was this? When did you discover this?
Like this was like
6
6
months
months ago.
Wow.
So
You've never like
outrageous.
seen someone using it?
I thought that it was the same thing.
Because I use it every day, maybe.
I use it every day.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean,
Like a concert, when you see the concert lights.
on your home screen too, like you accidentally can turn it on very
I turn it on accidentally so often.
all the time. Has it never happened to you?
During
Right here.
Right there.
They put it on the thing now.
Yeah, during quarantine, I I learned to navigate my home in complete darkness.
You like going to echolocation?
Like intentionally?
Oh yeah.
Like I would just be working
Kinda
late 'cause I had
rocks.
the other job, and I would do some content stuff, and then I'd be up really late, and all the lights in the house would be off, and I would just.
So how often would you say you use the flashlight app?
Now?
Or when you were using it at its peak?
Not like a ton, maybe like twice a week.
That's a lot of ad revenue. That's like the only ad revenue for that app.
Yeah.
Do you miss it? Do you still have the app?
No, I don't. I deleted it.
Ooh.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Androids have them?
Yeah.
I have to imagine.
They have to.
Okay.
Oh, you couldn't pay me to use an Android phone.
Okay, so
Interesting.
flashlight app definitely gonna move on, but KB versus Liz.
Oh yeah, flashlight app. Yeah.
Flashlight app. On the other side, Nick, you go first. Not understanding circles or being racist against Asians.
Circles are. It's circles.
Yeah. One for circles, KB.
Yeah, one is relatable, but circle. It's fucking.
Circles, Steve.
It's got to be the circles.
Circles.
Yeah, that's circles.
Circles versus the flashlight app. This is actually a very
Good
very
matchup.
hard matchup. Big T.
Is this semis?
This is semis. Yeah, to get in the.
I think it's flashlight and a landslide.
You think flashlight and a landslide? Why?
Yeah, I think that I don't see anything that goes up against the flashlight for me.
Just wait. I wish I could.
The boy was gnawing on Sill.
In 1986, he was using
Sills were better back then.
he was using a white screen flashlight in 2022.
Grew up in the Hansel and Gretel house.
Yeah.
So I can put mustard on this gingerbread to stop him from eating it. Large.
How long ago was the circle thing?
Probably around 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Same time as flashlight.
Yeah, it was a big month.
Very close.
I love the flashlight in this, but circles is something you should have had a grasp on much earlier than the flashlight.
I mean, he still doesn't have a grasp on it. I just asked about Jay, and he said,
I'm going to have to go.
Jay's a maybe.
I'm going to have to go circles.
One for circles, Steve.
Yeah, it's got to be the circles.
One for circles, KB.
So yeah.
Circles versus gnawing on that windowsill.
This is brutal.
Nick, you're first.
I'm not a parent, so I don't know how I'd approach the situation of my boy chewing on the house. It's so fucking funny, but not knowing what a circle is, like everything. This is breaking me, man.
Mm-hmm. This is very hard. We got the right two people in the finals, I think.
This is the final?
This is the finals.
I'm going circles.
Going circles. KB?
I'm trying to think of like my least favorite food, like my biggest aversion. Because I can see that may be working because you've tasted it before, you know you hate it. But you went on a couple years later to go out of your way to eat mustard.
Different mustard,
Different kind of mustard.
But still.
Spicy brown and classic yellow, very different.
Storyline.
I don't think there's that big of a dichotomy, though.
Yeah,
You're saying
gap
spicy like mustard is
mustard's mustard.
kind of mustard. You know what I mean?
Base
like,
being mustard
I
seeds.
can get you like a real weird mustard, but
I love spicy stuff now, but as a 6-year-old or however old I was, did not like spicy.
Age is going up every time.
Steven, what's in your mouth? Just the full fucking house.
Open your They x-ray you.
Yeah, Professor Plum. Wait,
some oak in there.
Billiards room in Steven's mouth.
So you're going with circle or window? Windows.
Children behave irrationally. The circle thing is a 34-year-old man. Circles.
Circles, Steve.
Yeah. What I will say about that clip, and it is near and dear to my heart, is I do Coley had the best laugh.
Yes, this is very funny.
Good laugh.
A lot, and that's a special moment. So I'll say the circles.
Circle. That's gonna win, but
He's not
large.
dead.
No, yeah. Both are a failure by his parents, right?
Oh, yeah.
Could have used like a white vinegar or capsaicin or something like that.
Yeah, that's what you do for biting your nails, right?
Yeah,
You dip them in
there
vinegar
are other, and you would never let your kid get to this point without being comfortable with a circle. Even like the pegs and the holes. You must have sucked at that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's circles.
It was the circles.
I do think I may have discounted how ridiculous the circles are up to this point. If you asked me this morning, does everyone who works at Barstool Sports know what a circle is? I would have said yes.
I think what threw him off was the term circular.
Correct.
Yeah,
I think he kind of confused that with circle-ish.
Yeah.
Circle adjacent.
Yeah.
But then today you said a J could possibly be circular.
Yeah, I mean the bottom of it is.
If any part is not straight, you're saying it could be circular. So yeah, I mean, yeah, not everyone who works here knows what a circle is, which I would not have guessed this morning. So
I would have guessed, even if I didn't know this knowledge. I would have said a couple.
I feel like Rudy would
I'd say over under 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rudy would struggle with shape identification.
Push Zod doesn't know.
I'm trying to think of who else. I don't know. We'll think about that. Could be a whole nother bracket. Dumbest people at
Barstool would rock.
So the winner of episode 50 is Steve not knowing what a circle is. And I do want to say, it might have come off as mean or something, but we all do love.
These are the best parts of this. This is his show.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like all of these moments, these are all the best parts of the bracket, and we cannot thank Steve enough for that and for being a good sport with
His
this
true self.
Yeah.
They were very, very funny. But yep, that's the episode. Thanks to Large and to Big T for joining in. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Remember to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube and to buy a shirt. We still got that Round Gary shirt kicking around.
Oh, yeah.
If you, we should make like almost one of those yak deals. Like if you show up in a Round Gary shirt, we should do something for you. Not as drastic as a kiss, but something in between there.
Do something.
We'll figure out something. We'll name it on the next show. But until the next show, we'll see you guys later.